The episode mainly follows Elena trying to hold on to her family's race and legacy after everything falls apart. It all starts with Elena already working in risky territory. She helps modify a race car for a buyer and personally races through traffic on a motorbike to unplug the ECU just seconds before inspection. The gamble works, the car is cleared and sent back to the track, proving Elena knows how to operate under insane pressure. At Imola, the Dionisi team enters the final race of the season with their last shot at beating Berella's Ferrari. The race starts chaotic, with crashes forcing Dionisi into the pits. But once the car returns with fresh tires, momentum shifts. Lap after lap, they close the gap. Eventually, the Dionisi driver pulls off a bold inside overtake and wins the championship, their first title after years of struggling. After the victory, Elena's father Bruno is emotional and officially names her as his successor, trusting her to lead the company and protect the Dionisi legacy. Elena promises she'll do it. But that moment is destroyed immediately. Officials discover the car's control unit was tampered with, the team is disqualified, and Elena breaks down, admitting she only wanted her father to see them win. 1 year later, after Bruno's death and the team's suspension, the family returns under a new name, Alpha Blaze. Elena's brother Giulio is now in charge and promises a clean and stable future, but Elena clearly doesn't share his vision. At the team's trials, Elena notices something others don't: raw talent in Blue Venturi, a reckless outsider who illegally takes a car onto the track and drives it like a natural. While others see a disaster waiting to happen, Elena sees potential. This sparks a huge fight between Elena and Giulio. Old resentment explodes when Giulio blames Elena for their father's death and mocks her ideas. Elena fires back, accusing him of being a coward who abandoned the team's true spirit. She storms off, declaring that Team Dionisi isn't dead. Determined to rebuild it herself, Elena tracks down Arturo Benini, a former racing legend, now working as a bitter mechanic drowning in debt and personal problems. She offers him a chance to help revive Team Dionisi. Arturo refuses at first, wanting nothing to do with racing or family history. But Elena keeps pushing. She learns about Arturo's father, his failing workshop, and the financial pressure crushing him. When Arturo is later threatened over unpaid debts, Elena returns with a blunt offer. She needs him and he needs her. With nothing left to lose, Arturo agrees to join her project. Elena then completes her plan by pulling Blue out of her work release job, announcing that the Dionisi legend is returning. She introduces Blue as her new driver, setting the stage for the team's rebirth. Blue's story starts with her leaving prison through a work release program. She takes a janitor job under a rude supervisor, clearly trying to survive without causing trouble. But Blue's true nature shows during Alpha Blaze's trials. She sneaks onto the track without permission and hijacks a car, pushing it far beyond its limits. Instead of crashing, she dominates every corner with fearless precision, shocking everyone watching. Security eventually chases her off the track, but Elena is already convinced Blue is special. Blue later gets pulled into criminal work through Sergio Casadio, teaming up with Arturo and her roommate Ahmed to steal and transport a luxury car. During the job, Blue takes control of the wheel, showing incredible instincts and confidence. When police try to stop them, Blue refuses to surrender and launches into a wild street chase. She squeezes through impossible spaces, dodges crowds, and outruns the cops, delivering the car perfectly without damage. Her life changes again when Elena shows up and pulls her out of her dead-end job, offering her a real racing future. But the episode ends with a massive twist. When Blue meets Arturo, she instantly recognizes him as the man she believes murdered her father. Arturo is introduced as a former racing icon who has completely fallen apart. He's working as a mechanic, dealing with physical pain, drowning in debt, and refusing to talk about his family or past career. Elena approaches him with an offer to help rebuild Team Dionisi, but Arturo rejects it, clearly carrying deep emotional wounds connected to racing and family. Things get worse when debt collectors threaten him over money his father owed. That's when criminal fixer Sergio Casadio steps in and forces Arturo into a dangerous car theft job. Arturo doesn't want to do it, but he has no real choice. During the heist, Arturo works alongside Blue and Ahmed. The job succeeds thanks largely to Blue's driving skills, but Sergio reveals the harsh truth afterward. The job only delays Arturo's debt problems by 6 months. He's still trapped financially. Realizing he has no other options, Arturo accepts Elena's offer to join her team. However, his new partnership with Blue immediately becomes complicated once she reveals she believes he's responsible for her father's death. By the end of episode 1, new alliances are forming, but they're built on secrets, resentment, and danger. Elena is determined to resurrect Team Dionisi. Arturo is dragged back into racing against his will. Blue finally gets a real shot at a racing career, while carrying a personal vendetta that could destroy everything. And with Blue believing Arturo killed her father, the future of the team is already sitting on a ticking bomb.